what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna bring the tube stow or the locking stow as close as I can to the grommet, and then I'm gonna stretch it out. That is the proper way to do it. We want nice healthy stows. As you can see, I'm reaching the other grommet. So one more time, make the grommet get as close to the locking stow as possible, then pulling tension on it. Both sides, both stows are symmetric. Super important to have symmetry on opening. It allows much cleaner deployments. After that's done, you can see the canopy is not going anywhere, so you can actually spend a few extra seconds here and clean up your bag. After that's done, I like to walk my bag to the container. I don't like to drag the container. This increases your life of your container. We're gonna follow the stows one and one. As you can see, I make the tube stow or the locking stow go through the grommet before I put tension on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we go to regular rubber bands here. As you can see, I have the large PD rubber bands, and these ones put tension on the line and do double stows. Be careful that you don't have anything but the lines. Up and down. Again, symmetry on the stows. We want to make sure that all our stows are the same size. Super important. It helps on heading openings and cleaner deployments. We get here to the last stow. Now we have all our stows. You can see all the lines are nice and clean. The canopy is inside the bag. I'm gonna put this bag on top of here, and the drog is missing because this is a full assembly. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put the drog on the container. We have the drog. Marker. Adjustable wrench. I'm gonna unroll all this. Let's tuck that knot inside there. Open the link all the way. Put it in place. For French links, it's finger tight, quarter turn. If you can get it. There we go, nice and tight. I like the marker so the packers can check if the link is moving or not. Okay, super important. Put the tools away. If you put your knee right here, simulates the instructor shoulder or the jumper shoulder, so it's easier to place the risers around the yoke. Same thing in both sides. And as you can see, I'm not stacking them. I'm not sliding them side by side. I'm putting them right on top of each other. So actually, I'm stacking them. There we go. So my grommets are, my risers are in place. Now we're going to put the bag on the container. There's several ways to do this. The cleaner way that I found, I like to fold my lines right here, grab my number 2 flap, kind of roll the bag in place. As I'm rolling it in place, I'm gonna leave the reserve container, let the bag fall in the tray, put my knee on top of it, and then I'm gonna fill up the bottom corners of this container. Two things I'm getting out of this. I'm putting the bag how it's designed to go in the container, and also you can see the bag doesn't want to come out. It's staying in place. I can walk away from this, come back, and it will be right there where I left it. There we go. Now the next step, Let's make sure the risers are nice and clean, coming all the way down. Bag in place. Spectra pull-up cord right here, pack boy. Super important. It lengthens the life of your closing loop and also creates less damage to it. Number one, sorry, we go from the anchor to number one. Then we're gonna go to number two. Right here you can actually see how I'm letting this excess bridle go to my top left. The arrow points to the reserve tray. The bridle comes to the bottom right. Make sure that the flaps start folding in the proper way they need to. After I do 1 and 2, I'm going to put my knee and I'm going to feed number 3. Number 3 flap is closed. I'm going to rotate my container 90 degrees. Close it tight. Now I'm going to put my knee right on top of number 3. Put it through the anchor or number 4 flap. And right here, super important, I'm going to put my knees on the corners of the reserve tray, never on top of the reserve flap. You have closing loops, you have seal, you have reserve pin. We don't want to cause any damage to that. We want to keep that nice and clean. So that's, as you can see, my knees are going right on the corners of the reserve tray if you want to use the container as your leverage. As you can see, I'm putting towards me, so it's helping me out. We're going to place the pin. As you can see, it comes through the top, over the top, through the pin on the bottom. This way it gives you a clean pull. If you do it the other way around, you can actually have a drag and tow malfunction from it. Also, you can see on this picture right here that it goes to the top and then under the pin. I'm going to take all the twists out of my drag bridle. We want it nice and flat. Just cock the drag a little bit. I'm going to put the bottom, the drag attachment and the golf ball together. Throw the drag down and I'm going to fold my drag. The way that I'm folding it is to assure that I have a nice flat pack and also that I get bridle extension before the drag decides to inflate. Also, I'm keeping my bridle super flat. I'm gonna fold it up to about the junction between the lower bridle and the upper bridle on the middle of the drag, and then I'm gonna do tri-folds right here because I want to keep it nice and flat. After my drag is nice and flat, this allows me to actually utilize the entire drag pouch to hold my drag in place besides just having a nice tube, only a tube on the center of it. We're gonna place the drag inside the pouch, flatten it out a little bit. I keep my packing tool on the closing loop so I can apply a little bit of tension and it facilitates me putting the safety pin in. Let's take the packing tool out, put it on your pocket or in a safe place, ride your bridle the proper way. Now I'm gonna place my center flap. If the main risers are creeping out, you can put them back in place. Now I'm going to close my disc cover flap. First, these two tabs go in place, go on under this hard plate. Then the magnet meets the magnet inside number 2 flap. This rig is ready. So that was my point of view on packing a main canopy Sigma 370 II.